What's going on, guys? It's your boy Man Jones here, back with another video, and this time we'll be doing our week six picks for this week. So we're gonna get things started here. Now, last week I went 5-9, which I didn't really do really good last week because it was a horrible week for me. My overall record is 46-31. So yeah, and don't forget these teams, the Texans and Vikings, are on a bye. So yeah. So we're going to get things started here. Before I give you my record predictions for week 6, don't forget to put the thumbs up, like the video, subscribe, my channel for more option, and comment down your opinion below to see who you got winning this week. So obviously, I accidentally erased it. So obviously, I had the Eagles winning 38-16, and they lost 34-17, which that was bad. So let's get started here with the rest of the games. So we got the Denver Broncos playing against the New York Jets. The Broncos, they're -6.5 against the Jets. This game right here is in London. So yeah. But anyways, I got the Broncos winning. I got the Broncos covering. And the reason for it is that, the Broncos got the better quarterback. The Broncos got the better coaching staff, and they're the more complete team. And they overall got the better defense. Like the Jets, their defense, it's just average. Like it's not great anymore. It's average. Like they give up so many big plays. They play too much man coverage. They can't really stop the run. And I feel like the Broncos really have a good offensive line that can really control the Jets pass rush, that can allow them to run the ball and open up some spaces and all that. And I feel like Bo Nix, he has a good arm. He can find a way to at least threaten the defense. Especially the Broncos do got weapons on offense that can rip up any defense like the Jets. Like Courtland Sutton, he's a dog. Evan Ingram's a dog. Marvin Mims. And the Broncos got a really great pass rush too that can really get after the quarterback. Because we've seen that against the Eagles. Like the Broncos defense should have a good game here against Justin Fields, who can't really throw the ball and hold on to the ball for so long. Because Justin Fields is not great. He's not as good as Bo Nix. And all of a sudden, the Broncos secondary is decent. And I think, Pat Surtain versus Garrett Wilson's a good matchup. But I feel like if the defense don't give big plays to Garrett Wilson, they should be fine. And we don't know who's going to be getting open. I mean, all the Jets are going to do is run the ball, which I don't think they're going to be able to do much. And the Broncos run game is going to get it going here. And the Broncos got one of the best run defense in football that can get pressure. Because Nick Manito's a dog. He can get after the quarterback and all that. And I feel like that Justin Fields is totally going to be wrapped up against Nick Manito in that Broncos front. So, yeah. And Aaron Glenn's a terrible coach as well. So, yeah. That's why I got the Broncos winning and I got the Broncos covering. Because the Broncos, I think they'll probably put up 40 points. They might put up 40 points in this game. Maybe 30. Who knows? But we'll probably see. Maybe 41-6, 41-13. Something like that. So, yeah. I got the Broncos winning and the Broncos covering. Next game, we have the Los Angeles Rams against the Baltimore Ravens. The Rams are favored by a touchdown, so they're 7.5 favorites against them. Actually, the line changed, and now they're favored by 6.5. So which that makes the Ravens, it makes the Ravens 6-point dogs against them. I mean, if Lamar was playing, the Ravens would be favored, but if he's not playing, it favors the Rams. Now, we know the game right here can totally go either way. Now, the Ravens are beat up with some injuries. Now, I heard that Zay Flowers is on the injury report, and now they say he's questionable to play after a limited practice, but I'm pretty sure he will play. The Ravens are dealing with injuries on defense. Now I just heard that Marlon Humphrey, they're looking to get him back, so that's a huge boost to their secondary. So at least their secondary is healthy. Um, Roquan Smith, he's ruled out. So basically, the Ravens are totally getting a little bit healthier on defense, but they are missing Roquan Smith, and they did trade away to the Chargers to get Gilman, maybe to save the team, and they just signed Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to the practice squad, which I don't know that's going to save the Ravens defense. Because we already know the Ravens defense is the worst unit. They can't stop the run. They can't stop the pass. Like, Stafford's going to have at least like 300 plus yards against them. And he's going to like go for like 3 tutties and all that. Maybe 4. Like, who knows? Because Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, the Rams got weapons that can really rip up any defense like the Ravens. Because I think Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua, they'll probably have a good game, and those guys are tough to cover. Stafford's going to pick them apart. Kyren Williams, he'll probably fumble a little bit, but maybe he finds a chance to give the Rams a win, because I feel like the Rams can run the ball a little bit. And, the Ravens, I don't know who's playing quarterback, though, because we know Lamar's not playing. It's either going to be Cooper Rush or Tyler Huntley, because both these guys stink. And I feel like that Cooper Rush, he's probably going to be he's definitely going to get destroyed by Jared Verse in this game. Like, the Ravens are not going to be able to run the ball as much, again, because the Rams have the best run defense in the football, and they have a great pass rush that can really get after the quarterback and all that. So, yeah. So, I feel like the Ravens defense could play a little better in this game. But a lot of people are picking the Rams because Lamar's not playing. But even if Lamar was playing, they could pick the Ravens. But the Ravens are totally in a bad spot. But I really don't care because the Ravens are at home in this game. So basically, I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens here in the upset to win this game. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm going with the Ravens here because I really think they need to win this game if they really want to keep their season alive. I really want them to make the playoffs. So basically, I'm going with the Ravens here because I think the Ravens, they really need this win here. And I feel like it's time for them to end the 3-game losing streak so they can get back on track. Because if the Ravens start season off 1-5, then John Harbaugh will be on the hot seat and Zachary Orr will be on the hot seat as well. So I hope the Ravens on both sides of the ball will be able to show up, because last week they couldn't show up against the Texans because they gave 44 points against them. And the Ravens didn't really do much on offense. I think the offense can play a little better in this game as well, because the Rams on defense, especially in the back end of their defense, they're not great. Like, they don't have the corners to cover against the Ravens' weaponry. So, yeah. So, that's why I think the Ravens are going to win this game. So, I'm going Baltimore here. Next game, we have the Dallas Cowboys against the Carolina Panthers. The Cowboys are favored by 3.5. This game right here can go either way. Now, some people could be picking the Panthers to win because the Panthers, they end up beating the Dolphins last week. The Cowboys, they're coming off a big win against the Jets. Obviously, I'm going with the Cowboys here to win this game. And the reason for it is that, the Cowboys are the more complete team. They have the better quarterback. And I just really think that, the Cowboys offense is going to be too much for the Panthers defense to handle, because I don't think the Panthers defense is that great. Neither the Cowboys defense is, because the Cowboys are playing against a Panthers team that doesn't have a vertical passing game. So basically, the defense probably won't look as bad, though. I think their defense will look good against them, because even last week against the Jets, I thought their defense looked pretty good, and especially they showed up against the Jets. I think they'll do it again against Carolina. I don't think Carolina's defense is that great. Maybe Dallas can run the ball on them, because now their running game is starting to improve, and the passing game is starting to improve as well. I mean, George Pickens is looking good. Jalen Tolbert is. Now, we know CeeDee Lamb is out for this game, which I know that kind of sucks. Turpin might be out, which that kind of sucks because he's the best punt return Turner ever. So yeah, maybe they get their offensive line back. Maybe that will help. Especially, I thought even with them missing half of their offensive line last week, Dallas found a way to block and run the ball a little bit on the Jets. Like they were able to run the ball. Like their run game is starting to improve a little bit. Um, yeah, and the Cowboys do have better secondary, which they do have the corners to match it well with the Panthers receivers. I mean, the receiving core outside Tack Millen is really not great. So yeah, so basically, I think the game right here is probably gonna be close. It's probably gonna be competitive, but either either way though. But I just think Dallas offense is too good. Dak's playing like an MVP right now, so yeah. So I'm gonna take the Cowboys to win, and I will take the Cowboys to cover. I'm probably gonna say like 38-34 or like 31-27, something like that. So yeah, so I'll take the Cowboys both ways here because I really think they really need to get this win if they want to get above 500. And Philly, Brian Schottenheimer is doing a really good job, and Matt Eberflus going to do a really good job of the defense so far. If this team want to move forward. All right, next game we have the Arizona Cardinals against the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are favored by 7.5. Actually, they're favored by 6.5. So yeah. So basically, this game right here can totally go either way. Um, obviously, if Kyler plays, the game will be interesting though. But if he's not playing, it won't be. But I heard saying that he's questionable to play because he's dealing with a foot injury. But I hope it's not the case that he's out. Maybe it is. We'll have to see. The Colts are dealing with injuries. Kenny Moore is out, which he's progressing. Mike Hilton's out with a shoulder, so the Colts they're missing a few players on defense, but they're getting healthier though. I like what the Colts are doing as an offense. I mean, they found a way to move the ball against the Raiders. I mean, their defense really kept them out of the end zone. Like I thought they really moved the ball really well, especially Daniel Jones playing really well too. And so yeah, the Cardinals, they should have at least beat the Titans though, because if it was for something, like if they could have just at least just like run the football without fumbling the end zone, that would have never happened. That would have been a touchdown. Like, who knows? Like, I don't know why, but they should have been a touchdown. And the Cardinals should have won that game, but they blew that game for some reason. I mean, the Titans went for a game-winning drive and all of that to get the first win against them. So, yeah, so now they're playing against a Colts team that's looking to be in playoff contention this year. So, yeah, so basically it can go either way, but I think the game will be a lot closer competitive though, but at the same time, I'm going to go with the Colts here to win this game. I think the Colts are a more complete team, have the better quarterback and coaching staff. They're at home in this game. They pretty much have the better defense that can really get after Kyler, and they're really good against the run as well. And the Colts are going to might be able to run the ball against Arizona. I mean, even though Arizona's run defense has been great. So, yeah, I think the Colts are probably going to do much on offense. Like, I think they might overpower them because I don't think the Cardinals have a great secondary. And the Colts do got weapons on offense that can really rip up any defense like the Cardinals. So yeah. So basically, I like the Colts here to win, but I think the Cardinals keep it close here. But I'm probably gonna say the Colts win and the Colts cover. So yeah. I'm probably gonna say like 27-24, 24-20, something like that, 31-27, something like that. So yeah. So I'll take the Colts both ways. I'll take the Colts to win and the Colts to cover. All right, next game we have the Seattle Seahawks against the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Seahawks are favored by 1.5. Obviously, this game right here can totally go either way. Um, Obviously, most people are picking the Seahawks to win because they do have the better defense and they look more like the better team. But at the same time, the game's in Jacksonville where it could be tricky and it could be a tough travel for Seattle because they're going towards like west to like Jacksonville, which has a far travel. Um so yeah. Seattle, really got because Seattle was looking pretty competitive against the Bucks until their defense absolutely, got they got exposed by the Bucks and Baker Mayfield. Like it really did though. Like it really did. Like the Bucks, offense is like moving the ball on them and scoring a lot of points. And Seattle found a way to do it against the Bucks defense as well. But we'll see what Seattle's defense will look against Jacksonville because now the Jags, their offense is playing really good. Trevor Lawrence is looking pretty good as well. The offense is humming. The defense has totally been underrated lately. It's been pretty good lately. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's been very good. And Jacksonville, maybe they can totally give Sam Darnold some issues. But Seattle has a great defense under Mike McDonald, and they're really good against the run. Maybe they can make Jacksonville's offense one dimensional in this game. Like who knows? But I just don't really know if I really have faith in Jacksonville, offense to move the ball against Seattle because I don't know if they're gonna be able to put up 30 points like the Bucks did, because the Bucks were able to put up 30 points against the Seahawks. I don't know if they're gonna do it against this. I don't know if Jacksonville can do it. But I think Jacksonville, I think they're gonna do what Baker did, just some quick passes, short passes, maybe not much of a run game. So yeah. So I think Jacksonville keep this game close, but I'm gonna go with the Jags to win this game. And the reason for it is the Jags are at home. They have a couple days prepare after coming off a Monday night game, almost kind of a short week, kind of. So yeah, and I think defensively, I think they'll find a way to get after Sam Darnold and make life difficult on them. So yeah, so basically, I think the offense, yeah, they'll find a way to control the game and keep Darnold off the sideline and all that. So yeah, so basically, I like Jacksonville here to win this game straight up. So yeah, I'm gonna take Jacksonville. All right, next game we have the Los Angeles Chargers against the Miami Dolphins. The Los Angeles Chargers are favored by 3.5. Um, Obviously, I gotta take the Chargers here. I'm picking the Chargers to win, and the reason for it is that Herbert's not gonna lose 2 games in a row. Like he's not. Like it's not gonna happen. Like he's not gonna lose 2 games in a row. Because especially with them losing like back to back against Commanders and the Giants, I mean that's just like crazy to see. So yeah, so basically, I think the Chargers do get back on track and win this game because Chargers are a more complete team. They have the better quarterback and coaching staff. Now, Chargers are dealing with some injuries, especially with the running back room, with because they already placed Amarian Hampton on IR, which he's going to be out for the next couple games. Najee Harris, we already know he's out for the season. So the Chargers are dealing with some injuries as well, especially on the offensive line. And I thought their offensive line did not look great against Commanders because I thought, the Commanders really defense took advantage of that. The question is, could Miami's defense take advantage of an injured offensive line of the Chargers? Now, Miami's pass rush is really good because maybe but I think their backup offensive lineman against the Dolphins pass rush, maybe it may not be difficult, maybe it will be. But the Dolphins back end their defense, like their secondary is atrocious. I thought the Chargers will move the ball against them because they do have some weapons that can really like rip up any defense like the Dolphins with no cornerbacks like Quentin Johnston, Ladd McConkey, and Keenan Allen. Like Herbert's gonna like pick him apart. And I just think, I just don't know they're going to be able to run the ball as much. But the Chargers defense, is pretty solid. They added Oweh to help that run defense. And the Dolphins, I don't really think they're going to be able to run the ball as much. And we know Devon Achane, he's not going to get run for 2 yards carry and all that. So, yeah. So, the Dolphins offense has not been looking great. And we know the Dolphins, and also the Chargers are also facing against a run defense against a Dolphins defense that definitely got ripped up by the Panthers a little bit, especially who got ripped up by Rico Dowdle, who had 206 rushing yards against this Dolphins run defense that was really bad. And the Panthers won that game, which I thought the Panthers would have at least won the game by more than that, but all of a sudden they end up down a lot of points and they end up coming back on them. So, yeah. So, basically, the Chargers, if they can get the run game going, I think they'll find a way to do it, though, against the Dolphins' run defense that has been atrocious lately. Because we know they can't stop the pass. Herbert's going to pick them apart. Mike McDaniel looks like he could be on the hot seat and all that because he's looking to get fired soon. So I get the team with the better coaching staff, the team with the better quarterback, and also the team which is the more complete team was the Chargers. Now we know the game's in Miami though, where I know it's tough place to play at though, because we know the travel will be tough for the Chargers because they have to go from west to east, playing across the country. So yeah, but at the same time, the Chargers are just a more complete team overall, and so yeah, so I'll take the Chargers to win. I'll take them to cover as well. But it could be close. I'm probably going to say 37 to 30 or 38 to 30, something like that. So, yeah. So, basically, I'll take the Chargers to win and the Chargers to cover. All right, next game, we have the Cleveland Browns against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are favored by 6.5. Obviously, now we know the Browns are coming off of a close loss against the Vikings where they should have won, and the Steelers are coming off a bye. So yeah, so that's something we gotta see. So basically, I think the Steelers, they're gonna have extra time to prepare. They're gonna have extra time to rest because they're coming off a bye. I mean, they got some players injured, which I think their defense could get healthier in this game. The Browns, their defense really blew that game against the Vikings, which I thought they should have at least won. I mean, Dillon Gabriel was fine, and all of a sudden, that the Browns defense blew that game to Carson Wentz. So yeah, so basically, I think there's a chance that this game can totally get close and go either way. I feel like it could be a low-scoring game, though, because both these two teams got a really good D-line, but their offensive lines are a little sketchy. They don't have a run game and all that, so yeah, but they do have a passing game. So yeah. I think the game right here is going to come down to the wire to see which defense wins the game. Now, I think the Browns could totally give the Steelers offense some fits, though, because they have a great D-line and a great secondary that can really, get after Aaron Rodgers, and they got corners to lock down DK Metcalf. So, yeah, so basically, yeah. So, I think the game right here could totally be close and competitive, though. But at the same time, I'm taking the Steelers here to win. And the reason why I'm taking the Steelers is because the Steelers are just a better team overall, better coaching staff, better quarterback. I mean, there's no way I'm just picking a rookie quarterback on the road against an elite defense like Steelers. And because Steelers are one of the best defenses in football, and they can stop the run better because the Browns don't have a run game. Because we know Steelers' run defense has not been good lately, but it's been playing a lot better though. They're starting to get their run game going a little bit, but I don't think they'll do it against the Browns. And then we know the Browns can't run the ball. Neither Steelers can. So both these two teams won't have much of a run game. So yeah, so basically I'm gonna take the Steelers to win, but give me the 6.5 with the Browns. Because I think the Browns will cover this game to keep this close. And I think they'll hang around this game as well. But if there's somehow the Steelers get up early, they'll probably blow the Browns out. So yeah, so I'll take the Browns to cover, but I'll take the Steelers to win this game as they look to hold on first place in like the AFC North, because now the AFC North is looking pretty bad because we know Steelers are one of the best teams for right now. All right, next game we have New England Patriots against the New Orleans Saints. The Patriots are 3.5 favorites against the Saints. I got the Patriots winning this game. I'm taking the Patriots to win this game, and the reason for it is that the Patriots, they got the better quarterback, they got the better coaching staff, they're the more complete team, and they pretty much have the better defense as well. The defense played really well against Buffalo last week. They was able to get pressure on Josh Allen. They was able to force some turnovers. I think they'll do it again against New Orleans because we know New Orleans is not a great offensive team and not a great defensive team. And I think Stephon Diggs, had a really good game last week. I think he has another breakout game against the Saints as well, especially the Saints. They don't really have a great secondary. I mean, their pass rush is good, but it's old. And we know the Saints are good against the run. I think the Patriots offensively can move the ball on them. They have a great offensive line. They have a strong defensive line that can really get after Spencer Ladler and make life difficult on them. Now, the Saints do got some weapons on offense, but the Patriots secondary is really good. I think their corners will have good success against the Saints receiving core. I think, they'll find a way to get pressure on Spencer Rattler. And so, yeah, so I think the Patriots will win because the Patriots are just better team overall. Like, the Saints aren't going to do much on offense. I think the Patriots put up I think they're going to put a 40 burger on the Saints. I feel they're going to do the same thing like they did against the Panthers because they was able to put a 40 burger on them. So I think they can do it against the Saints, especially who has one of the worst offenses in football. So, yeah, so give me the Patriots to win, giving them the cover big. I mean, in my opinion, this spread should have at least been like more than 3 points. Like, they should be favored at least by like 10 or more, in my opinion, because 3 is just not enough for me because we know the Saints are one of the worst teams in football. And we know the Saints pull off a big one against the Giants. So, yeah. We know it's the Giants. So, yeah. So, I'll take the Patriots both ways to win and cover. Next game, we have the Tennessee Titans against the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders are 4.5 favorites against the Tennessee Titans. Obviously, the Raiders, they're both 1-4. I mean, this is game of the week, but it's totally not. This is like worst game of the week because both teams are 1-4. We know they're not good teams. Raiders are one of the worst teams in the league, and we know Titans are one of the worst teams in the league too. Because we know Titans did come off a really good win, a comeback win against the Cardinals, while the Raiders, kind of came off a blowout loss against the Colts. Obviously, yeah, this game right here can totally go either way. I mean, both offenses are really good. I mean, they both don't got great offenses, but their defenses are pretty strong. I mean, Titans have a great defensive line, and so does the Raiders do. But their secondaries are sketchy. Like, it's kind of hard to choose because it can go either way. I could see Tennessee winning this game. I could see Las Vegas winning this game. Like, who knows? Because I was almost about to call it a toss-up because now I just hear news that Brock Bowers is not going to be playing this game, which that's brutal for the Raiders. But they still got Gentry and Jacoby Myers. I mean, Geno Smith has not been playing really his best ball right now, and Cam Ward has not. But even though he had a good game against the Cardinals, though, which that was good, I think this game's probably going to be a little bit of a low-scoring game. I think it will be low-scoring. because they both got great defenses and all that. This is hard to choose, but I could totally see Tennessee winning, but I'm going to go with the Raiders here to win this game. And the reason for it is that I just think the Raiders, they got a better coaching staff. If long as their offensive line is healthy, I think they'll find a way to protect Geno Smith to force him to at least limit the turnovers and have less mistakes. And if they can find a way to run the ball against the Titans, they'll have good success. And I think the defense with the pass rush, I think they'll find a way to get after Cam Ward and make life difficult on him and all that. So, yeah, so I think the Raiders defense can win them this game. I think the Titans keep it close, though. I'm probably going to say the Raiders win like a field goal, maybe like 23-20 or like 20-16, 16-13, more of like a lower scoring game. So, yeah, so I'm going to take the Raiders to win. I'm going to take Tennessee to cover, I guess, to keep the game close. So, yeah, I like the Raiders here in this game. All right, next game we have the Cincinnati Bengals against the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are 13.5 favorites against the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, the Bengals are on a losing streak right now. They're on a 3-game losing streak, while the Packers, are coming off a bye, after tying the game to the Cowboys. Now, we know that the Packers defense did get shredded by Dak Prescott and the boys, especially without CeeDee Lamb. Because the defense did look pretty bad, though, against that game. But especially the offense did look pretty good. While the Bengals, their offense has not been looking pretty good lately, and their defense has been pretty bad. Now, they signed Joe Flacco. We don't know if he's going to save this team, the Bengals team. Now, we already know that what Joe Flacco likes to do, like, he'll just hold on to the ball for so long. He'll just turn the ball over a lot towards the interception. We know he'll do that like he always does. And he's really not the same player like he was. The Packers defense, I think they'll play a lot better in this game. I feel like, they should be able to get after the quarterback pretty good. They're good against the run. They can stop the run really good. They have not been bad against the pass lately. So, yeah. But their offense, they can run the football. They can throw the football because we know the Bengals defense is the worst unit. And, Josh Jacobs might have a good game. Christian Watson being back healthy, which that's great news. That could be a huge boost to the offense, but not quite because we know Reed is out. I like them to see see them to get Golden going because he a little more Kraft's been looking good. So yeah, I think the Packers should easily win this game. Like, Bengals seem like they're looking like to be the worst team in football right now without Joe Burrow. Especially they're looking like the worst team in football right now. So, and the Packers are gonna play hard, and the Bengals might not put up a lot of points here. But they was able to put up 20 plus against the Lions, though, but they just didn't do enough to win. Because all the Lions did, they just started fast and all that. So, yeah. So, I think the Bengals win. I think the Packers, they should easily win this game. But I'm predicting it's going to be a blowout, though, because the Bengals, their offense, they can't really score a lot of points without Joe Burrow being out there. Even when they're similar like the Ravens, the Ravens offense can't score a lot of points without Lamar. So, yeah, so the Packers, they're probably going to win by a lot, though. They'll probably put up 40 plus. Maybe 48-10, something like that. Or maybe 45-10, but it's going to be a blowout, though. It's definitely going to be a blowout, though. The Packers are probably going to score a lot because we know they will. They're going to win by a lot. Maybe they'll win by 30 plus. Maybe by 40 plus. Who knows? So, yeah. So, basically, I got the Packers winning, and I got the Packers covering that big spread. So yeah, which that is good because if Joe Burrow was playing, it will be interesting. The Packers will be favored by a few, but they're favored by a lot because of the Burrowless Bengals and all that. So yeah, so I'm taking the Packers to beat the Burrowless Bengals and to cover that big number. Next game, we have the San Francisco 49ers against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 3.5 favorites against the Niners. Now, the Niners are coming off a big win against a close win against the Rams, while the Bucs are coming off a close win against the Seahawks. Now, I call this a toss-up like my trap game. Now, it can go either way because, you know, the Niners are dealing with injuries on the offensive side of the ball. While the Bucs are dealing with injuries on the offensive side of the ball. Now we did hear the news that Bucky Irvin's going to be ruled out again, and Mike Evans going to be ruled out again. Now we heard that Chris Godwin's going to be out again. So the Bucs are totally like missing half of their offense, which that kind of sucks. The Niners are kind of missing half of their offense as well. But the good news is that they are going to get that Ricky. Now the bad news is that Purdy is going to be out again, and so is Pearsall. Now they could be getting Jennings back, but Kittle, like I was predicting they will get Kittle back, but they say he's likely to return next week. Now, Brandon Ayuk, I mentioned that he was going to be back week 6, but they said he wasn't close to returning. But I hope he returns soon. So the Niners are totally are banged up with injuries. The defense, is really good though. Both defenses are solid. Like we seen the Bucs defense got picked apart by Seattle. And we seen that the Bucs offense looked pretty good. Now the question is, how good will their offense be without their top weapons? Now Emeka Egbuka has been solid lately. He's been one of the best, receivers so far. And we know Cade Otton is awesome. So yeah, but both defenses are very strong, but we'll see about that. But Niners defense has been really good under Saleh lately, which has kind of helped, and Bulls defense is really good, which has kind of helped. So yeah, so basically, I think this game right here is going to be competitive. It's going to be close. I know most people are on the Bucs because they're more healthier, and the Niners got questions at quarterback because now Mac Jones is dealing with an injury. But yeah, so I think it's gonna be a fun game to watch. It's gonna be very close, but I'm gonna take the Bucs to win this game. And the reason that I'm taking the Bucs to win this game is that the Bucs got the better quarterback. Baker's playing at MVP level right now. The Bucs kind of got more weapons. The Bucs do have the defense, defensive scheme that can really get after the Niners offense and get after who's playing at quarterback for them and make life difficult on them. And the Niners run game has not been really good, and the Bucs are good against the run. And I think they'll do enough to control the game and keep Mac off the sidelines and all that. So yeah, I could see San Fran win this game if the Niners offense can control time possession, the defense can get a stop and keep Baker off the field. I think that's a chance the Niners can win this game. But the Niners, that's a team where I think they truly much own. But I feel like it's a different Bucs team because they're playing against a Bucs team that has a good quarterback who's playing at MVP level. So yeah, I think the game will be close, but I'm gonna take the Bucs to win. And maybe I'll take San Fran with the points. So yeah, because 3.5 is a small number. I'm probably going to say they win by a field goal, maybe like 24-21, 27-24, something like that. More like a lower scoring game. So yeah, so I'm going to take the Niners to cover, but I'll take the Bucs to win the game. Next game, we have the Detroit Lions against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are 2.5 favorites against the Lions. Yeah, so this game right here can totally go either way. Now we know most people could be on the Chiefs because the Chiefs, they're coming off of the Chiefs are actually coming off of a loss against the Jets, they should have won, while the Lions are coming off a big win against the Bengals. Now, my concern about the Chiefs is that the Chiefs should have at least beaten the Jags, and the reason for it is that they were in that game, they were competitive though, but at the same time, but they were so competitive. They should have at least won. That's when Trevor Lawrence had slipped, and then he went for a touchdown, and that's where that's when their defense put a yellow flag on there on the pass interference on the Chiefs defense. That's where now the Chiefs defense is facing some penalties with some pass interference and with some holding and offsides and all that, which it kind of hinders them to win the game, which I thought they could have at least won if it wasn't a pass interference on the defense, where it did get burnt. Now, the offense looked pretty fine, though. But if the Chiefs defense would have at least never blew that game, they would have had a chance to win the game. But Jacksonville found a way to at least control the clock to give themselves a chance to win the game. And now the Lions are looking pretty decent so far. So yeah. Now my question is that we know the Lions are dealing with some injuries on defense. We don't know if Branch is gonna play. We don't know if Joseph's gonna play, but now we know that their whole entire secondary is dealing with injuries. They already put Reed on IR and they already ruled out Terry and Arnold. The rest of the defense is fine. Now we did hear that Monreal was on the injury report, but now he's off there. It looks ready to go. Worthy was on the injury report, and now he looks ready to go. So if the Lions, if they're missing their secondary, how they're going to be able to cover Worthy? Worthy might have a good game, though. He might go off. Hollywood Brown might go off. Tyquan Thornton might go off against the Lions secondary with an injured cornerback group. Like, it could happen. But the Lions, I feel like they're going to be ready to roll. They're going to be prepared for this game. And, they beat the Chiefs before. Now, could they do it again? Because that's where they beat the Chiefs with no Kelce. Now, this is a different team with Kelce. Now, my question is, can the Chiefs keep up with the Lions' high-powered offense? Who knows? The Lions could totally score 30 points or more. Because, the Lions, sometimes they like to play too much man coverage as well. Sometimes they'll give up big plays. And we know the Chiefs give up big plays as well, too. Because sometimes they play too much man coverage. Because I don't really know if they're going to be able to at least cover Monroe, Sam Laporta, or Jameson Williams. Now, the Lions can totally run the ball. And we know the Chiefs don't have a run game. And the Lions got one of the best run defenses in football. So, yeah. So, it's kind of hard to choose because the Chiefs did lose to Jacksonville, and I don't really want them to start 2-4. The Lions, I kind of want them to start fast and all that, but I don't really know what to choose. But we know the Chiefs are at home in this game. But I don't know. That's kind of tough. I think the game will be a lot closer, but I'm going to go with the Lions here to win this game. I'm taking the Lions to win this game is because I think the Lions, I think they're showing that they can beat the good teams. And I think they match up well with the Chiefs really good on paper. They pretty much have the pass rush to get after Mahomes. And if their secondary is healthy, they'll find a way to at least cover the Chiefs receivers. But at least as long as the Chiefs, if the Lions safeties are a lot healthier, maybe they'll find a way to at least double team Kelce and make them throw the ball to the people. So yeah. Because even last time when these two teams played, Kelsey wasn't in the game. So yeah, and especially Jared Goff owns Mahomes, and he never lost to Mahomes. So yeah, I mean this could totally be a win for the Chiefs since they're at home and they need to get back on track to win this game if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive. But I just think the Lions are just a much more complete team and a better version of the Chiefs. So yeah, so I'm gonna take the Lions to win this game straight up. All right, next game we got the Buffalo Bills against the Atlanta Falcons. The Buffalo Bills are favored by 4.5. Um, obviously, this game right here could totally go either way. We know the Bills are dealing with some injuries. Um, Dalton Kincaid is dealing with an oblicule. Now we know Matt Milano is out. He's dealing with the pectoral. Curtis Samuel's dealing with a neck injury. Hamplin's dealing with the pectoral as well. Now we know Maxwell Harrison hasn't played at all. So their first round corner. Larry Ogunjobi is suspended. So yeah. And Tyler Bass have not really played like yet. Because now they're saying that he's uncertain for week 6, but they're gonna see if he can play. But if it's not, it's probably gonna be their next kicker. Where it's probably gonna be Matt Prater. Now, the Falcons are dealing with some injuries too. Darnell Mooney's out. So now they're going to have to lean on Drake London and Mike and Kyle Pitts. The Falcons' offense has been pretty good lately. I mean, Michael Penix is playing really good. So, yeah. So, basically, the Falcons' defense is not that good as well as us Buffalo Bills. I think Josh Allen can do enough to at least even though he doesn't have a lot of good weapons, I think he can take advantage of a secondary that's not great in Atlanta. Because Buffalo does have weapons like Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir, and Dalton Kincaid that can really rip up any defense like Atlanta. And Buffalo might be able to run the ball against them. And the Falcons, they have a great run game as well. They can run the ball on Buffalo because, Buffalo's run defense has totally not looked good. So, yeah. So, I think this game right here is in a dome in Atlanta and all that, but the game should be close and it should be fun to watch. But I'm going to take the Bills to win this game because I think the Bills are just like the more complete team and they have the better quarterback and coaching and all that. So, yeah. So, I like the Bills here to win this game. I mean, the Falcons, I don't think they're ready. I don't think they're on the Bills level just yet. So, yeah. I think it will be closer, though. I think it's going to be a little bit of a high-scoring game. I think the Falcons' offense can do enough to keep up because I think they'll move the ball and stay in the game. So, yeah. So, I'll take the Bills to win, and I'll take the Falcons to cover. Then, last game, we have another Monday night game. We have the Chicago Bears against the Washington Commanders. The Commanders are favorite. They're favored by 4.5. Obviously, the game right here is in Washington. Now we know last year when these two teams played, we know the Commanders won that game where it was a Hail Mary. So yeah. So basically, now we already know the Commanders are dealing with injuries. Now we did hear that Terry McLaurin's out, which that kind of sucks. Now Debo Samuel is questionable to play with a heel injury because he was limited in practice. But now they're saying it's likely a game time decision. But I hope he plays. But I hope that's the case that he does play. So yeah, the Bears are dealing with injuries as well. Colson Loveland's questionable to play. Um, yeah, but if he doesn't play, they're probably gonna move with Cole Kmet. So yeah. So the Bears are dealing with some injuries, especially on defense as well. But the Commanders are on offense. The Commanders' defense looked pretty good against the Chargers. Like they was able to force some turnovers, they were able to force some mistakes. They was able to run the ball against the Chargers as well. They was able to run the ball on them. I mean, their rookie running back Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt looked it pretty good. He had a breakout game. He looks like to be a next great running back. Commanders defense only sacked Herbert 5 times. So yeah, so defense is playing better right now. The passing game is playing better. Their offense is looking pretty good right now. Now the question is, can the Commanders defense able to hold on? We'll see, because the Bears defense is not really good, because we know the Bears aren't good against the run, and we know they're not good against the pass as well, because now their defense, like they've been solid against the pass, but their run defense has not been really looking really good so far. Because now their defense is ranked 31st in rushing yards, and they're allowing like 164.5 per game. We know the Commanders' pass defense is not good. They're only averaging 235.0 per game. And their defenses are both bottom 20 in the league. Commanders are 24th, and they're averaging 371.4 per game. And the Bears' defense is ranked 26th in total defense, where they're allowing 386.0 per game. So both of their defenses are atrocious. So I kind of really feel like it's going to be a little bit of an offensive game so far, because they both have great defenses. And, the Commanders' defense did play really good, and they only allowed 10 points to the Chargers, because we know the Chargers, they were up like 10-0, and they ended up falling apart. So, yeah. I can see this game being a lot closer, though, than it was last time, because last time it was a low-scoring game, and that's where both defenses were shining in that game. But I think it's going to be a little bit of an offensive game. It's going to be much more of a closer game than we expected. I expect the Bears to keep this close, because they're going to move the ball on the Commanders. They're going to stay in the game. We know the Commanders will stay in the game, because they're going to move the ball on the Bears. So, yeah, I think this game will be close. Is the battle of the young quarterbacks playing against each other. But I'm going to go with the Commanders here to win this game. I think Jay Daniels will be too much for the Bears defense to handle. I think they'll do enough on offense to move the ball to keep the Bears defense on their toes. And I think, the Commanders, Debo Samuel against a banged up secondary like the Bears is a terrible matchup. I think Debo Samuel will go off in this game. Ja'Cory will probably have another breakout game like last week. So, yeah. So I expect this game to be high scoring. I think it will be in the 30s. I'm probably going to say 34-31 or 38-34, something like that. Or 41-38, something like that. So, yeah. I'll take the Commanders to win, but I'll take the Bears to cover to keep this game close and competitive, because we know the Bears are coming off a bye as well, which they have extra time to prepare and rest it. So, yeah. I'll take the Commanders to win and the Bears to cover. Well, those are all my Week 6 picks for this week. Thank you guys for watching. And don't forget, if you disagree with me, just let me know in the comments section below what you guys think. of your week 6 predictions. So yeah. Well, this is Emmanuel Jones for Big Fan. Thank you guys for watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. You can see more of my prediction videos and all that. So yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching. See you guys later. Peace.